Everyone, today I just want to show you my process. So let's talk about it again. We started the 4 hour, so let's start the 4 hour. Okay. So this was the candle that was developing. So at the time when I marked it out, this is where it was at. So just pay attention to that as like that's the price that I was looking at pre-market. Okay. So there was a couple things, right? First of all, we were going down. Okay, although we were in a downtrend. Right, we were in a downtrend, but we had a few legs up. Okay, but what I seen was we were making multiple bullish SMTs. That's what I saw. I'm like, okay, cool. It looks like, we have bullish SMTs, we have bearish SMTs. On the 1 hour, it's a little easier to see. And we also have 1 hour, 4 hour bullish and bearish SMTs, and also this right here. As you can see on both charts, it looks like this could be a high time frame liquidity sweep, right? Because here's my session right here. It goes up and immediately starts going down. So with all this information, I didn't fully know where we were going. So this today this type of market is the type of market that makes champions, 100%. Like for this to be as hard as it was to read, I just went neutral today because I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to go for sells or buys because we have so many different ways of thinking. So I'm like, okay, I'm neutral. Whatever liquidity gets taken out first is probably the general direction that I want to go for. So it took out buy side liquidity first, so I went for buys. I might be saying that wrong. I think sell side liquidity is what I'm talking about. The lows, like it took out the lows first, so I went for buys, right? Okay, which looking at it from the 1 hour, how the fuck do you know? Like you don't know where the fuck I would have taken this trade if you go on the 1 hour. But on the 5 minute, we have this one leg. Okay. Okay. This is the trade I took. Why did I take this trade? Okay. So again, swept sell side liquidity first, or whatever the fuck it is. It swept out the lows first. So I went, okay, cool. We're going for buys then. Okay. We have this leg up. What is this leg? Okay. This leg right here is the inverse fair value gap. Okay. So that's what I went off of, right? Or an SMT. Same thing. It could be either an SMT because look, we have it all the way down here, and we already cleared this. This is the first low since clearing that. Okay. So it could be an SMT or it could be whatever. It could be either or. Regardless, it doesn't really matter, right? SMT or inverse fair value gap. Okay. Equilibrium, and because it's an SMT, right? Because I know there's an SMT, and the lagging index is the S&P. I'm sorry, the leading index is the S&P. Because it's the one that's still not. It's not making lower high or higher. It's not making lower lows. It's making higher lows, right? So we get up, touch equilibrium here. Right here is a 1 minute breakup structure. This is where I entered. This is where it failed me. On this line. I had a couple take profits. It only hit one. It only hit my first TP, which I always put at like, if it's close enough to make a 1-to-1, usually my first TP is the daily high. And then also we had one right here. We also had one at London high and one at Asian, or like the sweep of Asian high. Right. Because my inversion idea is if we're going for buys and this is a high time frame 1 hour liquidity sweep, this would make this invalidated if we go past this. So this is where I put my final TP. Although it only hit one and kept going down. Again, this is the type of market that makes champions right here. Okay, you don't know you don't know how to read it. Although it went down the whole day, I still had all of these marked out, and I could have went either or, right? So, like, let's say I was going for buys or I mean for sells, right? And we're going off of that high time frame liquidity sweep, we'd be looking for an let's see, right here, right? We're looking for a 5-minute retracement. So let's go to the 5-minute. Okay. So let's go to here. Okay. So from right here is where we'd be looking for a flip. From right here. Okay. So we get the inverse right here. And then it would be right here from 10 a.m. Okay, right? Because this is the fair value gap that we make. Oh, sorry, hold on. No. Let me look back at it. Hold on. Okay, wait. Sorry. I apologize. Where would our... Because we'd be looking for a 5-minute S&T to be made. Okay. It would be this. It would be this right here. Sorry. Okay. So we have this high, which was cleared. Okay. And then we have this high that has not been cleared. Oh, okay. Sorry. Right here. This high that's not been cleared. It would be something like this. Something around this. Right? Okay. Let's go to the 1 minute. And this would be probably our entry right here above this high, and then first TP would probably be, it wouldn't be these lows, it would probably be these lows first, then these lows, all the way down to probably where the new week opening gap is, which I think is this right here. Yeah. Yeah. All the way down to the new week opening gap. So 6.43, because we know the reason that I'm okay. So sales wise, that's the strongest draw on liquidity is this opening gap. There's no orders that have been filled here, so we need orders to be filled. So that's where the strongest draw on liquidity is to fill that gap. And as you can see, it would hit all of them, and this would be a good thing. Again, we could have went either way, but I went for buys because I didn't know, because I was neutral today. But if I had a sell mindset, that would have been our entry right there. Okay. But it would have been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 take profits. I risked like somewhere between like I think 11 and 1200. I don't fully know. Don't look. Okay. So we're still 540. Yesterday I lost 1150. Today I made 610. Okay. So I mean that's really it. There's not really much to say. I think I made the right decision today because, again, from my market experience, I'd rather it tell me where it needs to go before, me figuring it out. Like, unexperienced and losing money that way. So, we know that this strategy works by doing that, so we'll just keep doing that. All right, though, y'all. It's been a pleasure talking to y'all. Deuces. Peace out.